Welcome, everybody, back to episode 81 of Slay the Stars. Last time we got to meet Arthur's new character, Lorne, and this time we're going to be introduced to Jenn's new character. Uh, so, Jenn, it is about the time of day when your character, Tali, would be trying to find a place to bed down. What does she prefer? Does she sleep out, in an outcropping? Does she look for a place in the woods that is like an old shack or a home? Does she stick to the towns and stay in one of those places, or does she have a base that she operates from?
She does not have a base.
Okay.
She is on a mission to find anybody, anything, anywhere. Right now, she is just in the woods. So she would find a relatively protected or defensible little place in the ground. She's not going high.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to tuck herself. Like in my mind, I'm picturing a very large boulder. It's a nice boulder
It's a nice
with,
boulder.
with moss covering. And it's not comfortable, don't get me wrong, but it's, defensible.
Okay. Does she go for things like campfires or
Nah,
no?
nah. She can see, she doesn't need it.
Perfect. What supplies do you have on you? What are you making for dinner?
So, I forage for my food. I don't really eat, a lot of meat. I would eat meat. I just don't eat a lot of meat. Um, I don't really have I ate the last of my foraged food, so I need to go do that. But tonight I opened my little pouch, and all that I see in there are some mushrooms.
Mm. What kind of mushrooms are these?
They are very weird looking, multicolored. Um, like I the overall color is like a gray. But there's underneath there's different each one is a little bit different, but the one that she's picking up and looking at right now, it has a not it's not neon, but like a bright light blue. Are those called gills?
Yes. Yeah.
To the mushroom, yeah,
Gotcha.
that. And then the top of it has white spots on it.
Interesting. And is she going to eat it now or is she going to wait?
I mean, is she if she's ready for bed, if that's what this
Well,
is?
I didn't know if you were going to forage for food sources first or if you were
Not
just
tonight.
not tonight.
She doesn't care. She's just gonna pop the mushroom.
All right. Uh, I would like for you to roll me first a Constitution save
Okay.
and second a Wisdom save.
Okay. Constitution save. That is a 6, and then a Wisdom save.
Mm-hmm.
That is a nat 20 plus 7, so 27.
Okay.
She's real wise about failing that shit.
This mushroom hits you like immediately, and you're like, "Oop, shouldn't have eaten that much," because you can feel like the nausea already coming for you. And this is sort of the problem with just finding these mushrooms out in the wild and kind of experimenting with them. They're not all the same and they don't all do the same things. However, you keep your wits about you, but you're still having the effects of like this, everything's a little more vibrant around you. And you start catching glimpses like in your memories, and you feel like you're almost falling into them sometimes, and you're back in this place, and there are two little girls with you, and you are also a little girl, and you're playing together. You have like hobby horses, and you're running around this large marble room, and everything's white, and everybody's laughing together, and it takes a moment because you're in that moment. That
Mm-hmm.
is your reality at this time. In the actual present day, you're pressed up against this boulder, kind of drooling on yourself. But all of a sudden, you feel a hand touch your shoulder in the this scape, this dreamish like scape that you're in, and also in the real world, and it shakes you out of this reverie for a moment. And when you open your eyes, there is somebody standing there. And you don't immediately say anything because your brain is still kind of split between like where you were and where you are now and trying to figure out what is real and what's happening. And roll me an insight check at disadvantage.
Said insight.
Mm-hmm.
16. Wait. Yeah, 16.
uh, you are pretty certain that this person was checking on you to make sure you were alive. Uh, and she says to you, are you okay?
Does she look like any type of familiar?
Roll me a history check at disadvantage.
I wonder why. Drugs are bad,
Actually,
kids.
no, I lied. Roll me a history check at advantage. Wow, doesn't matter. They're both
I
garbage.
rolled a 1 and a 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 5 total.
There is something about her face, but you can't place her. And this has happened to you before, um, when you've eaten these mushrooms, so you're not really like following this train of thought, like, who are you? You're just like, this is one of those deja vu moments.
What did she say to me?
Are you okay?
I'm great. Are you okay? Why are you talking to me? Wait, are you really here? Hold on. And then she's gonna like pat her face. Like, are you real? Because she hasn't seen people in what she thinks is years.
So the woman kneels down next to you and she doesn't uh say anything else. She checks your pulse. You're not sure what's happening. She's holding your wrist, and then she opens your eyes a little wide, and she's like, what did you eat? What have you been eating?
I can see your words.
You stupid child. Why are you can't just eat the things you find in the woods.
What are you eating?
And she takes her backpack down, she opens it, she rifles through a couple things.
You're a child.
It was probably that delayed too.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, here, and she pulls out um basically like a crab apple.
Don't eat what you find in the woods. Crunch. Right into the apple.
That'll hopefully help. What? How are you? Oh, never mind. And she sits down, like, with her back against the same boulder as you, but like on the opposite side. And you see she puts her backpack down next to her and she opens it up and she takes out like a long quill like pen. That actually still seems to have a sharp enough nib, a little bottle of ink, and a notebook. And she has it propped up on her knees and she starts writing something on the pages. How much are you paying attention to this person next to you?
Well, so she has an open backpack in
Mm-hmm.
front of me.
No, she has it like to her opposite side so you can't see into her backpack.
I'm going to kneel in front of her. In front of her. So I'm not looking at what she's writing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm going for taking anything that I can out of that bag. But because I have my wits about me still, I know that I need to like distract. So I can't just be like across
Mm-hmm.
her, right? Reach across her. So I want to make myself like I'm playing into the fact that she knows that I'm tripping balls.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to like just be goofy in front of her. And then when I feel like she's gone back to focusing on what she's doing, I'm going to reach into the bag.
Roll me a deception check.
That is a 19.
Also, roll me an insight check. with disadvantage.
Um, Math 12.
Okay, so a couple things happen right now. The first is that you go up and you kneel in front of her and you're acting kind of goofy, and you notice that she doesn't seem scared of you. That's odd, because as somebody who goes out looking for other people, you would know that 99% of the time when you meet somebody right now in this world, everybody's scared because everybody's an enemy. So you're not really sure what that tells you about the situation, but you find it odd that she lets you get so close. The other thing is, though, is she is just, for sure, she just thinks that you're just tripping balls. So what do? You just reach your hand and, like, you joke or throw off and, like, reach in the bag?
Yeah, I don't care what I grab. I just am like this. So, like, okay, I have my wits about me. I know that, like, she touched me, I touched her. Like, I know that, like, she's real, but also I don't trust that at
Mm-hmm.
all. And like I said, like, I haven't seen a person in, like, so long, I don't even know when. So I'm just like, okay, this is my brain doing, like, whatever. Maybe I'm touching a log. I don't know. So, I'm, but I do see a bag,
Yeah.
and so I'm still like, I want what's in there. So I'm just gonna, like, I'm looking and I'm going and just, like, reaching in, less exaggerated than when I just did now. Like, I'm trying to be sneaky.
Mm-hmm. And when you reach in and you pull up, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
21.
Okay.
23.
Okay. So there's a moment where you reach in, and you know that Halloween game where you put, like, jello
Oh,
in a thing and it's like you think it's a brain,
yeah.
right? There is a moment like that for you. You put your hand in this bag and you are 100% sure that you just grabbed, like, eyeballs. Like, this bag full of eyeballs, and it takes everything in you to not, like, start freaking and hyperventilating, but you calm yourself down, you keep your wits about you, and you pull your hand out, and there is just a bag of grapes that she must have scavenged. They're not, like, delicious looking. There's some, like, kind of shriveled and kind of whatever, but there's some grapes in there that she scavenged, probably from wherever she found the crab apples.
Okay. I'm just gonna, like, tuck that in the back of my tattered ass clothes.
She's watching you and she's just like, "Is this how you treat all new friends?"
Yes.
"How have you made it this long?"
Oh, well, you're not even real. I make it on my own.
She reaches out and she pinches you really hard on the arm.
I will slap her. Like, I'll slap her hand, like her arm.
Uh-huh, yeah. And she says, "I'm real. Did you feel that?"
I think so.
Okay, I have an idea. I think you need to just rest. You seem tired and a little out there. What if I tell you a story?
That's what I was trying to do before my hallucination started to pinch me. So, yes, please, serenade me.
I'll tell you a story, and then hopefully you can get some sleep, and we can talk more when you're a little more coherent.
By all means.
All right.
Do you have a blanket? Do you have a pillow?
No. Here. And she takes off. She has, like a little half cloak. She takes it off. She folds it up and she puts it on the ground next to her. And she's like, "Pillow."
You're the worst sort of hallucination.
All right.
And I'm exaggerated about it. So I'm gonna, like, punch the rolled up, like, try to fluff it up, and
Hmm.
like I'm snuggling in and just trying to get real comfortable.
And she puts her notepad next to her and her pen. She crosses her hands in front of her and she says, "You know, things like this are cyclical. And this is not the first time that Lyra has seen devastation like this. Have you ever heard the story of the Thalori people?
I can't even say that.
Well, they were the people who lived here a long time ago, before you, me, before the elves even came here. They were people of magic and enchantment, and they believed in harmony with the world. And they were the most beloved of the god Faunum. And every year they had a festival of renewal in their most sacred place, which they called the Heartwood Grove. And they would sing songs, and there'd be dances and feasts, and they would keep their connection to the magic and the land and their god strong through this. Are you paying attention?
Mm-hmm. Dancing wolves.
50% right. Um, but as we can see, based on what we've seen now, peace is incredibly fragile. And from the edge of the world came a dark sorcerer named Malachar, whose soul was tainted by envy and greed. When he learned of the Thalori's power, he sought to claim it for himself. And Malachar unleashed a curse that shrouded the land in darkness and corrupted the Heartwood Grove, turning the vibrant forest into a place of nightmares not too dissimilar to what we now face. The Thalori were heartbroken, and they knew that to save their land they needed to find a way to restore the Heartwood Grove. And their greatest hope lay in an ancient legend about a magic lyre that belonged to Faunum himself. This lyre, crafted by the gods, was said to have the power to dispel darkness and heal the land.
He sounds like a bad time. Why would he do that?
I don't know. The same could be asked of our current queen.
That's sad.
Roll me a wisdom check.
Tell me a
Just
better
a check.
story. Wisdom check?
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom check.
Yeah,
21.
it's pretty good. At the mention of our queen, you get this like knot in your throat. And you're like, oh God, is this another side effect of the mushrooms? But like, it feels like a stifled emotion. But
Like I
you,
want to sob, but I can't.
yes, like that. Um, she doesn't notice your reaction.
Apple lady.
My name's Eldrin.
Eldrin.
Mm-hmm.
Eldrin. Eldrin.
What's your name?
I don't know. I think it's Tali.
Tali. It's very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's continue the story. So Aelric, who was a brave warrior, and Illyria, a wise mage, were chosen to undertake the quest to find the lyre and defeat Malachar. They were guided by those same ancient songs of their people when they ventured into the corrupted forest. Their journey was perilous, and the once beautiful forest was now a maze of twisted trees and ominous shadows. They faced many dangers, from dangerous beasts to treacherous terrain, and yet their determination never wavered. After many trials, they discovered an old shrine deep within the forest, hidden beneath layers of darkness. And there, amid the ruins, they found the lyre. It was a beautiful instrument, its strings shimmering with a faint ethereal light. Illyria, with her deep knowledge of magic, recognized the lyre's power and began to play a melody she had learned from the ancient songs. And as she played, the lyre's magic began to flow through the forest, and the twisted trees started to straighten, the darkness began to recede, and the horrid creatures fell into a peaceful slumber. The melody seemed to heal the very land, lifting the curse that Malachar had cast. But the sorcerer would not be so easily defeated. Malachar, sensing his power waning, confronted Aelric and Illyria in a final battle, and he unleashed the dark magic, creating an abyss of shadows to engulf them. And Illyria continued to play the lyre, her melody now a powerful anthem of light and hope. The music clashed with Malachar's dark spells, creating a brilliant display of light and shadow. Aelric fought valiantly alongside Illyria, and their combined strength pushed back the darkness. With a final triumphant chord, the lyre's magic broke through Malachar's dark enchantments, and the sorcerer's power shattered, and he was banished from the world forever. The Heartwood Grove was restored to its former glory, and the land began to heal.
That was here?
Yeah, that's why this place is called Lyra.
That's a little on the nose. What happened to all the, like, it's, where? Where did it go? What happened?
I don't know. It's just a story. Maybe it's not true. Maybe it's not all true.
How do you know this?
In another life, I was a scholar. It was my job to know these things.
Were you in another life?
It feels that way, at least. But no, I just meant before.
Oh,
And she kind of gestures.
you're really, really here?
I'm really, really here. And she pokes you in the forehead.
Okay. I don't know anything. I I don't know where I got anything that I have. Well, I know where I got these. She's gonna pull out the grapes and show her the grapes.
Yes, you can keep the grapes.
Thanks. And then she's like shoveling them into her face, like a fistful. I don't know how I got here. I don't know if I have a family. I don't know where anyone is. I haven't seen anyone in a long time.
She furrows her brow a little bit at that. Well, I mean, where did they all go when it all happened?
I don't even know what happened. I mean, are you stuck in this forest too?
I mean, I suppose we're all stuck in a way, but I mean, do you mean physically? Like you can't leave?
I just thought that this was it. I haven't been outside of a forest. I don't even know how long. I just fight those creatures.
Yes, and the creatures are getting to be more numerous, and the kind people are less. I'm shocked to find you still alive.
I hide really well.
I believe you.
You found me though.
I did, but I'm more perceptive than most.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of wishing I hadn't eaten what was in my bag.
Well, in times like this, when everything is horrible and there's nothing but monsters that want to kill us, nobody can be faulted for trying to find any sort of escape.
Mm-hmm. I it started just because I needed to eat something, and then it was kind of nice to not have to think about anything or where I am or who I used to be or who I should be or the fact that I'm so alone out here.
I'm sorry you're alone.
I'm not alone anymore. Are you gonna stay?
For a bit.
Do you think it's okay if I sleep?
You know what? Why don't you get some sleep now, and I will keep watch for you.
I can trust you, right?
You've trusted me this far.
You haven't seen me with my knives though, and I'm gonna like take out my daggers and like do tricks or whatever.
You are still high as a kite right now. Um, but none of that takes away the skill that you have garnered over however long it's been since you've been out in this wilderness by yourself. And Eldrin is completely shocked and taken aback by this, and she sort of flinches away and she's watching. You can see like the look of shock and then like she's impressed. And she's like, I was wrong. I was sitting here wondering how you possibly took care of yourself, but I see that you do have your own ways.
Yeah, and then it's like they're not they can't be finger guns. They don't have guns. Like she's just sort of like trying to end on like a thumbs up or something like that. And that's when she drops her stuff.
And Eldrin like puts her hands up like, "Oh God, don't stab yourself." I can only do so much healing.
No, I'm good, I'm good. And then she picks them up and puts them away.
And she says, can I just. I'd like to. I'd like to test something on you, just medically to make sure you're okay.
What?
I was. Just hold on. And she puts her hand like right above your forehead, not touching it, but close enough that you can feel the warmth radiating off of her skin. And she takes her hands and she starts there and she kind of like glides them down your body just above, hovering. And you see this like shimmering effect, almost like a heat wave that is coming off of her hands. Mm, I am sorry. It does seem that somebody or something has put some curse on you.
D- okay. Like, so that I stay here so that I can't get out?
I don't really understand the nature, but it could explain why you feel as though you can't leave, why you don't seem to have any memories. Could explain all of it.
Do you know who cursed me? Can it tell? Can you tell?
Unfortunately, I'm not that powerful, but I can tell you that if the curse is still intact, there are not many who would be powerful enough to put such an enchantment on somebody, especially one as long lasting as it seems to be.
Do you think I've actually been out here for years?
No, none of us have been out here for years. It
Okay.
hasn't been this bad for years.
I don't know why that makes me feel better and worse.
I wish I had better news for you. But um, I can tell you that as part of my my role, what I'm trying to accomplish here on Lyra, still, if I come across any information on a way to help you, I will seek you out again.
So you are gonna leave.
But not for now.
Okay. Okay. Uh, I guess I'll rest.
Yeah, and she hesitates for a moment and then she like puts her hand on your hair and just sort of strokes your hair a little bit and she says, "Just sleep."
I feel like someone used to do that for me, and then she's out.
And the last couple words that you kind of offhandedly hear her say as you pass out, she says, "Just remember that all is not lost. Two will come along, and all that is wrong will be righted." And those are the last words that you hear as you fall asleep. And when you wake up, Eldrin is not there. But you do see that next to you there's a little bag of provisions that she has scavenged, some little like almonds or some type of nut, some more bits of fruit, um, and that is left with you. And she's taken some like leaves that she had found that are scattered around some trees that still had them, and like kind of covered you up a little bit to try to, camouflage you a little bit more. Your mouth is very dry, but the headache's not too bad. You're feeling okay.
Okay.
What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
Um, groan. Take in my surroundings, see what she's done, and look around. And I would think that I had dreamed the whole thing if it weren't for the things around me. And I know that I didn't cover myself with these leaves, although that is something that I have and do.
Mm-hmm. Having doo doo.
Yep, I said it. I
Have
said what I
indeed done.
said. There's no going back.
Nope.
So it's not unusual, but I know that I didn't do it, and I certainly didn't pile up these little provisions. I didn't go anywhere, so I'm a little weirded out, but ultimately it's a gift, and I'm just not going to question it, and I'm going to put as much of that into my little pouch that I have as possible. eat some. I'm assuming the rest of the grapes are there, so I'm gonna
Hmm.
try and eat some grapes and then look for some water source.
Okay. Roll me a survival check.
Jesus. Um, that is a 12.
All right. Uh, it takes you some time to find water. Uh, it seems like most of the springs and things like that have dried up around here. You do eventually find what used to at one point in time be a large river, but has now been downgraded to a stream. But the water's moving, and that you're pretty sure is a good sign. And so you start bottling some of that water up, and you hear almost like a humming.
Like a vocal cord or
No,
like a
like almost like a machine type humming.
okay.
This doesn't sound like it comes from a creature, and it sounds like it's overhead. And you right now are standing kind of in the open as you're on this riverbank.
Okay, so I'll look around and then I'll just look straight up and my face is facing the the sky, but my eyeballs are just kind of like looking around to see, and I'm trying to be very still so that I can try to pinpoint where I'm hearing that noise come from.
Okay? And as you are sitting there, you see above you a ship. And that word comes to you, ship. You can't remember ever seeing one before. But that's what it is. But it doesn't have any sails. So it's more like a rowboat, but a really big one.
How like low?
It's high. It's not far enough away that you can't tell what it is, but it's really high up there. You can't make out a ton of information about it.
So like real life, it'd be like if you see a hot air balloon like way in the sky.
Yes,
Okay.
very much like that. And you see it gliding overhead, but it looks like it's descending.
I gotta find a way to make a note about these fucking mushrooms. That's. I feel like a ship in the sky is wrong. Hmm.
Roll me a history check.
16.
You know that a ship in the sky is wrong. And you're there's something there. There's something like tickling your memory. Like a fairy tale or a story. Somebody used to tell you stories when you were a kid. And one of them had to do with a flying ship. You're sure you've heard of a flying ship, even though ships go in the ocean. You know that.
Every time this happens to me, I start to hum because I feel like if I start to hum, it's gonna like knock stuff loose,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not working.
Not today. You can't place it today. But this is the closest you think you've come to actually remembering something.
And like, it's been like this a couple of times, and I'm like, to be clear, I'm fully talking out loud.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to, I don't know, but I'm like all I'm literally narrating this. Like if somebody else were to be here, I would probably be given a wide berth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like okay, crazy. But yeah, I normally it's like it doesn't happen this frequently, this close together. I This is so frustrating.
You can feel it. Like, you know, those moments in life where you have this, like, things aren't going to be the same, right? That is the feeling that you feel. You saw this thing. There's like a moment of gravity that you're just like, that is going to change things.
Normally, I would not want to go near things that seem dangerous, but I think I should go.
As you're having that thought and mumbling to yourself about this, and you're standing up and you're really debating, like, am I going? Thinking yes. You hear from just out of the, like, just out of earshot or just out of eye shot, whatever. You hear somebody step a little too hard on a branch that cracks. And you look over and you see a man.
So I'm gonna, like, whether or not they see me, I don't care. My reaction is to, and I meant to talk to you about this before, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna describe this, and if you say no, then it's no.
That's fine.
I'm going to whirl so that I can try to get my eyes on whatever movement is happening. Get low, and I shut up.
Get a
I
low, get a
um
low.
I would like to use disguise self, not in a way to change my physical form, but to essentially camouflage like an octopus would. Like,
I like it.
because the rules are like physical touch
Mm-hmm.
makes it go away.
Yes.
And it's not changing my shape. I'm not changing the type of creature I am. I just camouflage really well.
Yeah.
And that's what I would like to use disguise self for.
Perfect. And so you do so. And you get down, you camouflage yourself, you're trying to blend in. But Lauren, you're pretty sneaky. You had been watching for a couple seconds this strange woman talking to herself, standing at the edge of this stream.
Let me put a, like, help paint that picture a little bit. As I'm talking to myself and I'm like looking up, I'm not, like, I was still when I was trying to pinpoint the sound, but once I saw that ship in the air, I'm looking up and pacing back and forth as I'm talking to myself.
She seems a little crazy, but also armed to the teeth. And whenever she hears that missed step and she hits the ground and camouflages herself immediately, you almost lose sight of her. You do lose sight of her.
Well, fuck. He'll just take like a jump back, like reassess his surroundings.
So you said I was in the open, but what is the terrain?
I mean, you're next to a stream bed, so the ground is still dry and cracked. There's a little bit of like rough, tall grass right along the water's edge. So
Is this
probably down
like I know we're in the woods, but we
there. Mm-hmm.
are Appalachian or whatever the
Mm-hmm.
fuck that's called. So like we're used to woods that have mountains and boulders and rocks, and
Yeah.
like we talked about the boulder I slept against. Words left. Um
I saw it happen in real time. It was weird.
is that the terrain we're still in? Like, or is it way open like a like a prairie?
So this used to be a dense forest, but there have been wildfires raging across all of Lyra for months. And so it is a burned out shell of a forest.
Okay. And the reason that I am asking is that is there anything that I can, like, when I camouflage that I'm up against, or am I camouflaging grass?
It's kind of grass.
Okay. Um when I crouched, like when I got low, I I did grab daggers. They're in my hands, but I'm
Okay.
not doing anything. I'm not trying to attack. I'm literally waiting in a defensive position.
Okay. So you are crouched in a defensive position. You stepped back to break line of sight. Nothing is happening. You're in a standoff.
This is so funny to me because part of the whole persona that I built for her is that she's paranoid as fuck, so she's not moving.
Um, he's gonna like peek around. Like she's just gone.
Well, roll me a perception check. Roll me a stealth check with advantage.
Fuck me!
That's real bad. That's fine.
You said stealth check?
Yeah.
14.
Uh, 17.
You can just you're okay. This is a wild moment because she was standing there and then she did something and she disappeared. It's only by like squinting your eyes and just you see like the tiniest glint of light off of one of her blades that gives it away. But other than that, she's really hard to see over there.
you're gonna take like, I would say like the stick that they roasted the fish on, just kind of tosses it to where she should be, just to see if there's like, it's like everything taking based on the shit that he's seen. This is not normal. So he's like, is it a monster that is disguised as a human, or is it a human that just disappeared?
So you're trying to hit me to see my reaction,
Just
not
to where
like for
you should have been.
damage.
Like if
Oh,
you
where
like
it
have like
should have been.
yeah.
Yeah. And he's not throwing it like a javelin. He's just tossing a stick to
This
ruffle
it
the
just
bushes.
determines my reaction is
Uh-huh.
all. Like if you're throwing it to where I was, to where you think I should have been, I'm not there. I'm not moving. But if you were throwing it to where you think you see me, that is different.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like he saw the glint. So
Yeah,
he's
you
gonna
saw the
throw
glint.
it in that.
Okay, so he
there.
throws it to where you are.
So when that stick is on its way, I'm throwing a dagger at the stick, not at him. My goal is to get the stick to not hit me.
Okay, this is going to be a very hard to hit. It's going to have to be 20 or higher, but roll an attack with your dagger.
Where are you?
I'm so sorry.
You don't have a dagger?
I do.
Oh.
It's not loaded. All right. So sorry, hold on 1 second. New characters.
So it should be +8, I think, for you.
Oh my god, go away. There we go.
Fine, I'll leave.
I said I'm sorry.
It is +8. Okay. You said 23.
Yeah, so you toss the stick over there, and all of a sudden a dagger is launched out of these things. It cuts the stick in half, and then the dagger goes shh and sticks in the ground right next to you.
Okay, but it was clearly a dagger that moved.
Yeah, it was a
It
dagger.
wasn't like a creature like reached out. Like,
No, it was very clearly a dagger, and you can pick it up and inspect it because it's right next to your boot.
but it didn't look like the dagger was headed towards me.
No, it was clearly just cutting the stick, and the landing was for drama.
For dramatic purposes.
I feel like okay, so when that happens and like you clearly know where I'm at, or you wouldn't thrown the stick at me. And I'm not an idiot, so I'm like, 2 people in 2 days. That's weird. And this is how I'm talking.
Are you talking to yourself?
I'm not talking to you.
No, answered the rock.
You're not supposed to hear me.
What a dynamic.
These words are not for you.
Oh, God. What have I done?
Can you, like, nicely give me my dagger back, please? They're a set, and I want both.
I need a minute. I don't know if I'm going to ever recover from that. Again, just everything that I was just went out the window. Okay.
Try not to laugh challenge.
For real.
We already fucked up.
All right, so she has asked you to please bring her back her dagger. Give it back nicely, I should say.
He kicks, you said it's by his boot, right? He just kicks it towards her.
Thanks.
Did you come from the ship?
You saw that too. I stand up. You saw that too.
Kind of fucking hard to miss.
Kind of fucking hard to miss.
You're good.
That wasn't nice.
No, it wasn't. Is this your everyday?
Every fucking day!
I think we should end there.
That is where we're going to end this episode. I'll slay the stars. next time for
Whatever
you
the
know,
fuck this is.
whatever the fuck this is. These nonsense characters. Thanks, everybody.
I should have built a crazy character so much sooner. Ooh.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I can't breathe.
Intro music by Isaac Vyers. Character designs by Cam Gonzalez. Produced by Leah Hemrick. Graphics designer Jenn Kearney. And audio engineer Arthur Polino.